Water samples taken in Cincinnati and northern Kentucky in the last year showed detectable levels of a compound called GenX in local drinking water. Investigative reporter Dan Monk looks into whether GenX poses a threat to your health.
Let's see how it works. All right.
Bonnie Jean Feldkamp feeds her garden from rain barrels.
See, there it is.
And her family from the Big Berkey. It's a $400 water filter that removes toxins from tap water.
All you do is you put the water in the top. There's the carbon filters. You fill it up, and then you get a glass down here.
Feldkamp's son, 4-year-old Ezras was diagnosed with lead poisoning when the family lived in Louisville 3 years ago. He's fine now, but his mom is wary of all contaminants, including a little understood compound known as GenX.
Feels like it's a new evil, not a better evil.
GenX was introduced in 2009 as a healthier alternative to a compound tied to cancer, but new studies by environmental health researchers are raising new questions about GenX.
If history has shown us anything, we won't know that answer until my children are grown.
No one knows that history better than Emily Donovan. She's been battling GenX pollution for years from her home in North Carolina. That's where environmentalists first recognized the potential dangers of GenX.
We've altered things significantly. My children take reusable water bottles to school. We've installed filtration methods in our home. We don't drink directly from the tap anymore.
Donovan helped to convince her local water utility to invest $137 million in a treatment plant that uses reverse osmosis. She says it works better on GenX than Cincinnati's solution, carbon filtration.
There'll be about a $5 billion plant for us if we wanted to use reverse osmosis.
Jeff Swartvager is in charge of water quality at Greater Cincinnati Waterworks.
Looking at the current guidelines that are out there, we feel that our water is extremely safe.
This treatment plant has been testing for GenX in its finished tap water since 2017. It's never tested a level above 6.6 parts per trillion. That's roughly the same as putting a third of a drop into an Olympic-sized swimming pool. But how much is too much? That's a much more complicated question. There is no federal standard for GenX, and state regulators are all over the board. The Chemours company, which makes GenX, did not respond to our questions, but it told Congress last fall the compound is safe at up to 70,000 parts per trillion in drinking water. The environmental activist group EWG says anything above 1 is not safe. Cincinnati's Miller treatment plant peaked at 6.6 in December. Cincinnati's Bolton plant in Fairfield has never tested above 5 parts per trillion. The state of Kentucky found a concentration of 11.9 last summer at a Fort Thomas plant operated by the Northern Kentucky Water District. Its plant on Memorial Parkway tested at 5.75. Northern Kentucky's top water official says there are no plans to change its treatment methods and the water is safe. And that leaves Feldkamp even less thirsty for municipal water.
I've got 44 years invested in my life. I'm kind of attached to it. So I'll probably do what I can to keep it.
Dan Monk, WCPO 9, I-Team.
Want a detailed look at health studies involving GenX? You should check out Dan's story. It's on WCPO.com.